Hey fam, welcome back to the Phoenix Project. My name is Amber Ann. I am so excited for today's video. I wanted to share with you guys some of the recipes that I have created to take some of my favorite foods that are normally bad for me and kind of transform them into healthier options so I can still have things like tacos and spaghetti and desserts while I'm leading a healthier lifestyle. So I'm going to take you guys today through my recipes step by step, start to delicious finish, and hopefully be able to arm you guys with some of the recipes that I've been using to help me lose weight while still enjoying food. Let's dive in.
Here are the ingredients that you are going to need for today's recipe. Please feel free to pause this video so you can take a screenshot of the items that you will need to buy from the store. So for today's recipe, we are going to be working on a fan favorite in my house, which is my infamous turkey tacos. So these are the ingredients that I decided to use today. I do kind of change up my veggies every once in a while, but these are pretty much the basics that I put in there. In the yellow container, that is chicken bouillon powder, and in the orange container, that is garlic. And for our taco shells, we will be needing corn tortillas and some kind of garlic salt to season them with. Now in this instance, I am taking the cauliflower and the corn and putting it in a food processor and blending it up. Normally, I buy already riced vegetables at the store, but they did not have any, so I am working with what I was able to get my hands on, and I just kind of finely mince them in the food processor. So now we need to pull out a large pot. I am using one of my favorite cast iron pots that has a ceramic lining. I have put vegetable oil inside of the pan. I do not recommend using olive oil for this recipe. You need the veggies to be cooking on a high heat, and olive oil has a low smoking point. So if you use it for this, you may get your pan smoking a little bit, which we don't want. So I have just added 2 cups of chopped onion, and about a tablespoon of minced garlic. You could buy this either fresh or in the jar. I have been using from the jar just to make it a little easier. And then I'm going to add in the minced cauliflower and carrot mixture. Some other good veggies to add into that mixture would be some chopped up celery. And if I do celery, I try to chop it down super fine. From here, once we have these in the pot, we are going to just go ahead and let those cook down a little bit. I try to let them cook until at least they get hot before I add my turkey meat into the mixture. I don't know, I've kind of found when you have cold veggies, the cold onions, and then you put the cold meat in there, that it just takes a really long time for you to be able to brown up the turkey meat. Once we get these veggies started cooking, we are going to want to season them a little bit before we add the turkey meat in there. So I am going to add a small amount of the chicken bouillon powder to the veggie mixture. I think that's maybe about a teaspoon. Just give it a little sprinkle around. I'm also going to add cumin at this point. I add more cumin later to the meat mixture once it's all together, but I want to give it a little bit here just because these veggies are kind of sucking up a lot of the flavor while they're cooking, and I don't want them to end up not being flavored on their own. Otherwise, you kind of get a very flavored veggie that's just mixed into your taco meat. From here, we are just going to give it a little stir and let it simmer for a bit. I've sped this up because I don't think you guys want to sit there and watch veggies simmer. And once we've got it all simmered up, we are going to go ahead and start adding our turkey meat. So I use a 3-pound package of turkey meat just because I like to meal prep, so I make large amounts of my taco meat in advance, and then I freeze them in little 2-person meal-sized bags in my freezer. So now that I've got the taco meat in, it is time to wash my hands. Now it is time to mix it all together and get this turkey meat ground up. I like to try and make sure that I get it all broken down into smaller pieces when it's cooking like this, so that way you don't end up with big giant chunks of turkey that don't have a lot of the other stuff mixed in throughout. Once we get this all nice and mixed together, it is time to add the actual seasoning for the turkey meat. So we are going to go back and add some more of the chicken bouillon. Feel free to lessen this if you are needing to adjust for sodium content in your cooking. I actually don't cook with very much salt, so I don't find that this bothers me too much for the amount that I use in here. But if you have any kind of medical conditions where you need to limit your sodium intake, that would be a consideration that you would want to look into when you're making this. And then I also add more cumin. Cumin to me is what really makes tacos taste like tacos. If you don't feel comfortable making your own seasoning like this, you could always buy a package of taco seasoning and substitute the bouillon and cumin for the taco seasoning packets. And then the final touch that we are going to add into our meat is going to be a can of mixed tomatoes. So it's tomatoes and green chilies diced up and added into the meat pretty much when you've got it, I don't know, maybe 3/4 of the way browned. You'll go ahead and add those tomatoes in there. And that's really, really, really going to, well, one, up the veggie count, and two, it is going to give your turkey meat just a ton of flavor. Once we have everything nice and mixed together, the next step is just going to be to slap a lid on top and let this bad boy simmer for a little bit. Now, while we are letting our taco meat simmer, we are going to toast up our corn tortillas. I prefer to use a toaster oven, and I lay mine flat to make tostadas, but you could obviously fold them over and form them into tacos if you would like. Now, once our taco meat is done simmering, you're going to go ahead and open that up and give it a good stir. I know it seems like there's a lot of fluid in there. I don't generally drain out my turkey meat only because turkey is so easy to dry out. So I like to leave the fluids in there and then use a slotted spoon when I serve it up, so that way I don't get a bunch of fluid all inside of my taco shells or on my tostada. So I'm going to go ahead and let that chill with the top open, and it will let some of that water evaporate out there at the very end. And now for my favorite part of this whole process, building up your taco or tostada in my instance today. So I am adding some super sharp cheddar just because I really want to add that flavor of cheddar to my tacos without adding a whole bunch of calories and still keeping it on the healthier side. So I choose a super sharp over a regular cheese so I can get more flavor, more bang for my buck for a smaller amount. Some other things that you might want to add on the top is some chopped up cool romaine lettuce. I prefer romaine over iceberg lettuce. Romaine just has more nutrients in it, and iceberg is really, really nutritionally deficient. So I would go with a romaine lettuce or a nice spring mix. Then I like to add either a pico de gallo or a salsa. In this instance, I am using Hatch green chili salsa, and it is just absolutely to die for. It adds a little bit of heat, but man, Hatch green chilies have such amazing, amazing flavor. And then to top it all off, I like to add a little dollop of light sour cream to each one of my tostadas. I use the Daisy brand light sour cream. It's like 30 calories for 2 tablespoons, so I'm really not adding a whole lot of calories to my tostada, and it kind of feels like a guilt-free guilty pleasure, if that makes any sense. And here are our finished tostadas in all of their delicious glory. I had so much fun sharing this recipe with you today. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to go down and hit like on this video. It really helps out my channel. And if you are enjoying the content you're seeing, please hit subscribe and then hit that notification bell so you get notified of my future videos when they come out. Have a great day, and I will see you guys on the next one. Bye.